Michael, your first defeat as Manchester United boss against Newcastle's 10 men. Did you expect more from your side tonight?
Yeah, we're not happy with the way we played the game tonight. I think it was the way the game panned out. I think we had in our hands largely, but credit to Newcastle. I thought the way they approached the game, I thought we knew it was going to be a tough game here, but we navigated the game to be in a position where we felt we should kick on, and we didn't really. So yeah, bitterly disappointed. Why
can it be so tricky facing a side with 10 men?
I don't think it was the 10 men. I just don't think we just didn't play good enough tonight. So we can't make any excuses for that. I think we all take responsibility for that, and we know.
You've shown so much character in a lot of your games so far. Why was that lacking?
It wasn't. Okay. It was just the quality and the performance. It wasn't character or wanting to win or anything like that. It's easy to throw that just because you don't win a game of football.
What was it about the performance that was lacking tonight then? What were you missing?
It was just general things. The quality, we weren't there, you know, and credit to Newcastle. They deserve to win tonight, so it hurts me to say that, but that's how it was, and we need to get back to working and be better for the next game.
Does it feel like a one-off game that you've had this really off day?
We've lost one game, all right, so we haven't played well enough, but in the grand scheme of things, we're in a decent position, you know, so tonight hurts because we don't like losing games, but we'll be better for the next one.
How do you ensure this then doesn't disrupt all of that good momentum that you've built up?
So you've got to get back at it and work hard and do the things that we did to win the games we've won, you know, and we can do that. We're a good team. We've got good players. Tonight wasn't for us.
Big game next at Old Trafford, and it's up against Aston Villa. You've got a 10-day break until that game. How do you plan to use that time with the team?
Yeah, just like any other week. We win a game, we lose a game. It doesn't change the feelings. Of course it does, and then we got to learn from it and we got to get better from it. But it's listen, we've had a lot of praise lately, and the boys deserved it. And tonight we're disappointed, but it doesn't change how we approach the next game. You know, we've got everything to play for, and we'll have a good week. We'll work hard, we'll learn, and we look forward to the next game.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Michael.
Michael Carrick not making any excuses tonight. He said Manchester United just weren't good enough. Is this where we really find out what he's made of as Manchester United boss, Owen? You know him because he's now got to respond to his first big setback.
Yeah, I mean, Carrick will be fine. He was calm as a player, and even there, he's calm as a manager. Jules asked him a tough question, and he says that, you know, I forgot what Jules said. Did you say attitude or something? And he said, no, it wasn't that. They just didn't play well, and that's what it was. You know, they didn't have the right from the off. I didn't think they had the right energy. I didn't think they used the ball very well. Even when Newcastle had 10 men, possession-wise, it was almost 50-50. When a team has one less player, you should see that. You know, you have to make the pitch big. Like Eddie said, they were going to come inside, give them the wide areas, so you should have a man advantage there. I don't think they were aggressive enough. I don't think they tackled enough. Only really in the last 10 minutes did they put a little bit of pressure on Newcastle, and it felt like a goal could come. But to be fair to Carrick, you know, he's been brilliant since he's come in today. Thought against West Ham, they're a little bit flat.
Do you think that's been coming, that result,
possibly,
in the last couple of performances?
But you know what, they've been finding a way to win games differently, and I think that's been a credit to Michael and the coaching staff and the players that, you know, the first two were on the counter and then they dominate possession a little bit, then they get some late winners or late equaliser, and I thought today I think it felt like they expected to win, and they just thought it would happen, and I thought Eddie and Newcastle did a really good job of getting after Man United early. They were very aggressive, they pressed them. I thought they used the ball very well, and I just thought United just didn't have that fluidity with the ball, and I didn't think they were aggressive enough without it. And I'm sure Michael will say to the boys, look at the clips, and then they'll be better for it. That game against Aston Villa next week is massive, because that you think about what Chelsea did today at Villa Park, and you see the fixtures coming up. I mean, that 3-4-5 race is going to be massive, and for these teams, you think about Villa, Chelsea, Man United, Champions League football is almost everything at the moment.
Why do you think they weren't able, Shay, to take advantage of the man advantage that they had for the whole of the second half?
I don't know. I think especially in forward areas, they lacked a bit of a spark. I was saying the own off there a wee bit that Bruno wasn't involved. He was involved a lot more towards the end of the game, but whatever way Newcastle set up didn't allow him to sort of get on the ball so much and dominate, you know, the possession as he's done. But what I would say on the Man United thing is they've lost the game of football. It's not the end of the world. I think Michael Carrick spoke really well after the game. you know, you don't want to sort of media pile-on now. He's not the right man for the job after one defeat. This is the Premier League. This is St James's Park. This is a tough place to come at at the best of times. And Newcastle had a huge response tonight. So again, as they keep level heads, where they're at from where he took over the football club, sitting in third in the Premier League. Like, so it's not all doom and gloom after one result. Michael, as Owen rightly says, will have to lift the team. He's got, 11 days, I think he said, before the next game. He's got plenty of time to work on a game plan for the next game, but just sort of keep calm heads, I think, with the manager and maybe the people, the powers that be as well.
You two are the coolest guys in St James's Park, just trying to keep everything calm.
It's not easy.
Well, after the break, we're going to bring you all of the goals from the night it was for the Geordies here, Shay, and that noise at the end. They've been waiting a long time for that, because 3 games without a win here is a long time for these fans. It's been such a fortress.
Yeah, we talk about the atmosphere all the time, don't we? And the last 3 home games have been disappointing. So it was huge to get that win. Actually, the end of the first half today was hectic, and the end of the second half was hectic. It was, if you look at in the cold light of day, I'm sure when Eddie looks back at it, Newcastle deserved the victory 100%. Even with 10 men, they looked a better team, and I'm sure Eddie's extremely proud for his performance.
And we can ask him himself. Here is Eddie Howe. Congratulations, Eddie. Good to see you. Shay was just saying about how much you deserved that victory tonight. How much did you need that? How much did St James's Park need that?
Yeah, I think we all needed it. I think Shay knows better than anybody the sort of the healthy pressures that you face here. You know, our recent form in the Premier League's not been what we want it to be, so we knew the importance of today's game, and even more so probably with the sending off. It turned into a really famous victory for us, I thought. What
can you say about that goal from Will Asula, and what did you say to him when he came on?
I said to him, well, I gave him his tactical instruction, but it's funny, I was just saying to Will afterwards that we worked on, or Will worked on this with me and the coaches, and I'm not taking any credit for it. Will deserves all the credit.
Take it, Eddie, take it.
No, because everybody had gone in, and he went, I want 10 more balls. And it's an actually mirror image of the goal that he scored. And I think I'm a great believer in the coaching process, but you need the players that want to improve. And Will's got a real great thirst for his own individual development. And that when you see someone put the work in and then deliver what he's delivered there in a key moment, I'm full of praise for him.
Because he's missed quite a bit of football with injury this season from November to January. Did that kind of feel like a bit of a coming-of-age moment for him in a Newcastle shirt?
Yeah, because I think he sort of made that step before, and then he got injured just at the time when we felt he was going to really push on. He's got all the attributes. He's big, 6'3", he's good in the air, he's strong, quick, and he can finish. So hopefully that's a second coming for him, and he doesn't get any more injuries and can stay fit, because he's got all the potential to be anything he wants.
I was just going to say, well, before the break I said about when Ramsdale made that unbelievable save, you know, that was a point I thought guaranteed. I didn't expect Will to go up the other end and score the winner, but again, it was a big call before the game. We didn't speak to you about it. You know, I suppose I'm not saying it's justified, because I know Nick Pope's a great goalkeeper as well, but you know, it's a big moment like that. That save, especially that one into the top corner, was world class from Ramsdale.
Yeah, I thought he did really well today. I mean, the saves speaks for themselves, but I thought he gave us good control with his feet as well.
Yeah.
He's an experienced goalkeeper, England international. This won't faze him. This is an opportunity for him. And you're looking for people, whatever position they play, to grab the opportunity. And we probably haven't done that well enough in recent weeks, but he can hold his head up today and know that he's put in a great performance.
Yeah. He said he was ready. He found out this morning that he was starting. When did you make the decision?
Probably this morning, really. I mean, I think you always have an inkling maybe for what you're going to do in the next game. But I like to sort of check myself and make sure I'm doing the right thing for the team. I thought, yeah, it's an unbelievable save. Looks better there than it did live. But I felt it was right. He deserves his opportunity. I think he's been training really well. I always look at training as a great gauge for how I think they're going to play when players get the opportunity in the team, and I'm delighted for him personally as well.
What was the second half game plan with 10 men? Because I guess the biggest compliment you can have is that it was hard to know who had 10 men in the second half.
Off the ball was to be compact, give them the wide areas, a lot of sliding and shuffling across, making sure we had good distances between our 3 units, and to try and be a counter threat and still a threat in behind. I still think, even though you have 10, you've got to try and give the opposition a problem. I felt we did that. The players delivered it really well, slowed the game down to a degree. We didn't want it sort of end to end. We wanted to play with real structure and just try and wait for a moment. We're really relying on set plays or counter attacks, and thankfully we got one with Will at the end.
There was a lot of anger from the crowd in here at half-time. What was your view on the sending off, with Ramsey being sent off for simulation?
Yeah, I thought it was really harsh. I think you've got to be really clear that the intent is to dive to win a penalty, and I think he's fallen over rather than tried to dive and con the referee. I think he's just lost his footing. The first one there, that's probably a yellow card. But I don't think, knowing JJ as I do, I don't think he's that kind of lad. And I think he's actually sort of lost his footing more afterwards, maybe anticipating contact.
Yeah, I think, to be fair to myself, Shay, Ali, everybody thought it was probably harsh. I think maybe because he goes down after taking a couple of steps, maybe they think he's dived when he probably really hasn't. Like you said, he probably anticipated the contact, didn't he? But you must have been so proud of the players. I thought from the off, you just had more energy. You got after United, pressed them. And really, you were probably quite unlucky even the first half. Even actually second half, you probably even better with 10 men, which was quite remarkable at this level.
Yeah, I thought we did really well in the first half. I thought we were quite fluid with the ball. We were back to combining and playing as a team, playing in partnerships. So I was really pleased, apart from the last bit. I felt we deserved the goal lead at half-time, and we sort of had that, and then they scored from a free kick, which I personally didn't think was a free kick either. So it was one of those days where very easy for the players at half-time maybe to feel sorry for themselves, especially after the recent run we've been on. But I think it was real collective mental strength to regroup and produce a second half that we did.
And what can this result, this performance give you going into such a tough run of games?
Yeah, I think we needed it. We spoke before the Everton game that we wanted to go into the period of games that we had coming up in really good form, and I think we'd won 4 out of 5. There was a good feel, and then that game comes and we leave with the opposite feeling. So it's really important we grab some momentum back, and we want to enjoy the games that we've got coming up. We want to perform and we want to try and win them. You're only going to do that if you're playing well. So today's a big step to helping us do that.
Eddie, thanks for coming out to join us. Well done.
OK, Manchester United midfielder Jack Fletcher has apologised for using a homophobic slur that has led to him receiving a 6-match ban. Our football correspondent Rob Dorset is here with me for more on this story now. Rob, when did this incident take place and what details can you tell us?
Yeah, so this is something that Manchester United and Jack Fletcher have known about for a while. It was while he was playing for the academy against Barnsley, I beg your pardon, back in October. And he was initially given a 2-match ban for the red card, which is statutory. But he's now been handed an additional 4-match suspension for the aggravating factor, as the FA saw it. And, of course, the aggravating factor is that he made these comments which included homophobic insults. Now, we should point out that he served 3 of those 6 matches as a ban already. And actually, the ban has no impact on his availability for the first team. And the reason that's significant is he's actually played 3 times for the first team already after making his debut back in December, just before Christmas. And the reason it's embarrassing for him and for Manchester United, of course, is because he's very high profile, but so is his father. Darren Fletcher, we all know very, very well. A legend of the Manchester United team under Sir Alex Ferguson. He's currently United's under-18s coach, so it's awkward for him for sure. And Jack has said, "I'm truly sorry for the offensive word that I used in the heat of the moment. Despite the fact that I had no intention to use the term as a homophobic insult, I completely understand that such language is unacceptable, and I immediately apologised after the game." He called it a momentary lapse in character. And Manchester United have pointed out that whilst all of the academy players have a lot of education on these sorts of matters, Jack Fletcher will get some extra lessons as a result of this.
Many managers over the years that I've been doing this job, they've always said to me that no one game is must win. Every game is a must win or want to win game. But the feeling, the noise is that, you know, Spurs could get relegated. But if they beat Palace, they could go a long way towards all that being silence. So is this not the most important game that Spurs have had for a long time? Maybe since they won a trophy last May.
Yeah, of course I don't agree with you. These are all the things that don't matter for the players, in the way that these are nice things to speak in television, maybe in bar, and do these things. You know, we in dressing room, we don't think in this way. We are not focused of direction that others maybe can take to discuss about this kind of thing you are speaking about. We are thinking about what to do better, the things, how to work on mentality, how defending better, you know, how give some aggressivity to take these second balls, you know, how be danger in the front. This is things we are speaking, we are thinking, we are enforcing these things, you know. So this as I said, these are all the things the fans can speak between them and journalists and you as well. But we try to not our thoughts not go in that direction.
So the players aren't speaking in the dressing room about.
They start to speak now. Yeah, they start letting to speak.
And I guess the last one is, in terms of where you are now, isn't the all-important thing getting 3 points? Not how you play, not whether you get the second ball, not whether the full back is gone.
I agree with you.
It's all about 3 points.
It's all about 3 points.
Lacroix, of course, for this game, a big miss. There's lots been said after what happened at Old Trafford. What's your reaction been to the reaction?
Pardon? My reaction to?
Yeah, to what's been said after Old Trafford and Lacroix.
Yes, of course, it's a big miss, but I think he missed also the Wolves game where we could win and we had a clean sheet. So need other ones to step up, and that's how we prepared. And now I think there were many people saying something to this situation, but at the end the referee decided it in that way, and that's how we have to accept it. Even most said that this was no foul, and the referee shouldn't have given even a foul. Then of course it's no penalty and no red card. But again, nobody will let us play from the 55th minute again. Game is over. We took many positives from this game, but also on the other side we could see what we can and have to improve, and this is what we showed the players. This is what we trained, and I said it, when we started in January with in the front with new players to get each other known. Therefore, every game, every experience is helpful, and we're starting now to be. I feel now we are starting the crunch time in the Conference League. We're starting crunch time in the Premier League, and I said it's now to be when it's really on top. We are on top of it, that everybody's in its best shape, and we are in the best shape as a team. And I think we are not there right now, but I feel we're going step by step into the right direction.
And we know Lacroix is Chaddy ready to come in and fill his boots.
Oh, yeah, we don't have many options. So Jeff Lerma is back in the squad, but not ready to start tomorrow. But said I would like to have him in the squad, so he trained with us. It's okay. It's quite early, but maybe if we need him for 15-20 minutes at the end. Tottenham is very dangerous in set plays, and I think Jeff is our best defender in set plays. So hopefully we have the lead then, and maybe we need him, so he's available for 15-20 minutes at the end. That means it's either Chadi or Nathaniel Klein. These are the only two options we have, and one of them will start.
The home crowd erupted as their side, reduced to 10 men for a chunk of the game, somehow found the belief in the moments to secure a famous 2-1 victory. Early drama set the tone. A contentious red card changed the game plan instantly, forcing the away team to probe, press, and try to exploit extra space. But instead of collapsing, the hosts dug in. They defended with passion, repelled wave after wave, and then struck when the moment arrived. Tactically, the match was fascinating. The numerical disadvantage forced the home coach to ditch the usual structure and organize compact, aggressive blocks that invited pressure but blocked central lanes. Quick, disciplined rotations ensured that crosses and cutbacks were contested, second balls were fought for, and counterbreaks remained a constant threat. That balance between resilience and opportunism won them the game. For the visitors, the plan was clear. Dominate possession, overload the wide areas, and force openings through patient passing. They created chances. Good ones, but a mixture of fine defending, a couple of brave blocks, and goalkeeping intervention kept them out until a late breakthrough. Still, the finishing touch was missing when it mattered most. Tactical tweaks from the bench came late, and by the time the final substitution pattern settled, the hosts had already rewritten the script.